Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I know that this looks very complicated. If you guys are new, my name is Jaco, or, well, my real name is Joaquin, but I go by Jaco. And there's been a lot of talk in my community about, shiny object syndrome and like starting this and starting that, and kind of changing the business model that you want to start. And so here, I'm going to really kind of give you guys a basic understanding of all the different business models that there is online. If you guys know about all these things and want to skip to the e-commerce and my progress in there, you guys can skip. I'll put a number right here so that you guys can check that out instead of looking at all these business models. And my real, actual, honest advice for you would be, seriously, like 100%, the only thing that you need to do is pick one of these and just keep going. That is literally the best advice anybody will ever give you. You know, all these guys on YouTube telling you that their business model is better than someone else's, it's not. I know guys in day trading that are making a lot of money. I know guys in SMMA that are making a lot of money. I know guys in sales that are making a lot of money. You can make a lot of money in every single online form of business that you possibly can fucking choose and understand. But the way to do it and do it right is literally to pick one and not stop. You can't change the business model as soon as you start. You have to keep going. If you guys have seen my channel before, you guys know that I am part of the e-commerce form of online business. There's some stats here that I'm going to show you guys in a little bit. And also this applies if you guys are new. I just want to give you guys a little bit of social proof. I am in e-commerce. We'll get to all that in a bit. But, here, online business as a whole is probably some of the most profitable forms of business that you can start. Now, a real life business as well is very, very, very good. And if you want to start a real life business as well, then you can do that because that is great. And, if you guys do that and you make some money, I'm proud of you. That is fucking awesome. But, I really just wanted to explain here all of the different business models that there is to choose from. There is one right here that's scamming. We'll get to that in a little bit. But, we're going to start kind of with the most popular right now. I would say, well, really, honestly, most of them are very popular, but a lot of them are very glamorized by influencers in that niche. So we're going to start here with SMMA, and if you guys don't know what that stands for, it means Social Media Marketing Agency. And here there's a picture of Iman Gadzhi, who is probably the most profitable marketer that there is. He was able to make a really big name for himself talking about his social media marketing agency run and business as a whole, and you can see literally his entire progress. So social media marketing agency consists of running ads, creating content for brands, social media management, all of that shit. But people don't realize that social media marketing agencies, they're not outdated at all. As much as people believe that it is. I personally know a guy that's making $50,000 profit right now at 19 years old, running a social media marketing agency. And I know this guy in real life. This is not a guy online. I have seen him. He has an office. He has a business. This guy knows what he's talking about, and he runs a social media marketing agency. I'm not going to spill his niche, just because I'm not going to do that to him. But he is profitably doing that right now at 19 years old, and it took him literally probably 2 years max to get it going like that. Anybody that tells you that their business model is going to be better than the last is simply wrong. The only thing that they are right about is the fact that these business models are different. That is it. There is no one singular golden fucking business model that you will fucking choose. Even AI, like all that shit, it's not as glamorized as people make it out to be. It's not as easy as people make it out to be. All of this shit is going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. That's the reason that people do it. That's the reason that you should do it, is because you want to prove to yourself it is possible. You have to make a promise to yourself that you can fucking do it too. Why would you want to achieve anything that is fucking easy? There is no reason to be doing that. Literally no fucking reason. If you get into a business model because it's easy, then what is it all worth? If you can't be one of the top 1%ers in that business and tell people that you actually achieved the things that you said you would achieve just because it's easy, there is no fulfillment in that. It's fucking lame. It's boring. It's stupid. So all of these businesses really are going to be difficult. They're going to be hard. They're not easy. All these guys that are telling you like their business model is the best, they are just fucking lying to you. Like, it's a form of manipulation. It's a form of a tactic to get you to fucking buy into their shit. And really, guys, like I'm trying to be as fucking honest as possible with you guys. There is no singular business that is the golden business of all businesses, right? All of them have people that have won in them. All of them have people that have lost in them. It all comes down to your mindset and how persistent you are in making it work. So, social media marketing agency. Now, so you guys know about this guy. I hope that you guys know about this guy, and I hope you guys can see it. This is the most I can zoom into. This guy right here, his name is Brez Scales. So, Brez, essentially what he did, he took the business model from Imangazi of social media marketing agency, right? And he rebranded it as something completely different. And this is why this guy's very intelligent, very smart. He knew what was up, made a lot of money doing a clothing brand, and then figured out how to run ads for other people, which is the same thing that social media marketing agencies can do as well. And so he took, this part of social media marketing agency, which is just running ads for people, and he rebranded it as just freelance brand scaling. This is the same thing as this. Literally, it's the same thing. All the funnels are the same. The agency is pretty much the same thing. They do the same thing. But this guy was able to rebrand it and kind of bring back to light the social media marketing agency because it was slowly kind of dying, the glamorization of it, anyways. And so he was able to bring it back into the mainstream media. So he has been able to do freelance brand scaling, so just running people's ads for clothing companies, and then builds funnels for these ads and brands, and is able to run up a pretty good decent amount of money for these brands. He pretty much started in e-commerce like what I did and running ads, which is again what I did. And once you learn the basic gist of running ads, if you do it right and you apply it to, if let's say a brand reaches out to you or some sort of company and you run their ads for them, it is very profitable to be able to do this for people. Just running ads for people right now, I would say, is not enough. You need to be able to, build a funnel for them and execute things the right way and organize things the right way, do content as well. It is a very valuable skill, but in order to compete against people like him, I would say that you do require a little bit more information, something more valuable to prove to these brands, to prove to these businesses that you can run their ads, and not only run their ads, but also provide some sort of other value for them as well. I would say this is a pretty good business model. It's the same thing, literally the same thing, guys. This is both of these guys right here. They just branded it pretty well and are able to funnel it back to their content, which is honestly the main source of their income is the content, and then they funnel it back to all of their communities and mentorships and shit like that, right? So, SMMA, freelance brand scaling, you guys can try it out, of course. Now, here is another form of online business, sales. So that's pretty much, when you call up people and you get them to buy into these programs or high ticket mentorships and shit like that. There are different forms of sales. You can do life coaching sales. I know a guy that's making $10,000 a month personally. Cool guy. He does life coaching sales. So he pretty much, calls people up and goes, yo, 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 blah, blah, blah. I don't know much about sales, guys, to be honest. So, like, if I miss out on information or there's crucial information in there that I need to talk about, go ahead. I'm just kind of giving you guys a basic gist of all of the forms that there are. But anyways, so this guy, calls up people, and essentially they get commission on selling these high ticket mentorships, getting real estate deals, life coaching, and I would say, if you are very good with people and you learn how to, do sales, that is a very good business model for you as well. There are a lot of people that are making a shit ton of money. I'm pretty sure this one guy, Hudson Cosper, this guy that I watch for motivational shit, he was in sales as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I am pretty sure. So, drop servicing. So, guys, drop servicing here. So, drop servicing has always kind of been around, and for like a kind of like a short period of time, it kind of was brought up to light into the mainstream, And, I did a lot of research on drop servicing and what it is. Essentially, you're pretty much just committing service arbitrage, where you pretty much just get someone else to do the service that you told someone else you would do, and then you pay them the difference, and then you pay that person, and then the client pays you, and then you get the difference between the payment that you got, and then the payment that you paid for for the service, right? So you can do a lot of drop servicing shit, on Fiverr. This is where you hire people, Fiverr or LinkedIn or whatever. You can do drop servicing for video production, audio production, digital marketing, web design. Guys, pretty much a lot of businesses do drop servicing. It's literally just a fancy term for business arbitrage, where they just find someone else to do it for them, so they can save the time to do it. Um, I think it's scalable. It can be very scalable. I haven't gotten too much into it besides like where for 1 month I was trying to really lock into it, but I never got into doing it. You guys can try it out for sure. It's pretty cool. So scamming, there's a lot of online scamming, and the reason I put that under online business, I'm gonna show you guys in a little bit. So this right here, this is Jordan Belfort. He was a known scammer. I don't know exactly what he did. It was something fucking stupid, but you guys can scam some people. Yeah, I don't recommend doing this. The Indian scams where they call you up with tech support and shit like that. Obviously, guys, do not do this. I do not condone any of this. I'm going to put AI OnlyFans as scamming. And the only reason I'm doing that, I know that it's going to trigger a lot of people because there's some AI OnlyFans guys that, they're trying to do that shit. I'm not going to put OnlyFans management in scamming. I'm going to put AI OnlyFans. It's just because it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just kind of degenerate. Like, it's just, I don't know. That's my opinion. The AI OnlyFans shit, it's just weird. It's just degenerate, and I don't rock with it that much. Obviously, like, there's people that do OnlyFans management, and that's totally fine. That's cool. Pedophile catfishing, scamming these guys that are pedophiles. I hope I can say that word on YouTube, but, scamming some guys scamming guys and pretending that you're a 14, 15, 16-year-old girl. Even scamming guys that are like in relationships or marriages and shit like that as an 18, 19-year-old girl. So not even pedophiles, but actual just catfishing and getting money. Guys, that's scamming, like the Snapchat one where, they hit you up and whatever, asking for money. So that's something that you guys can get into. I'm sure that there's a market out there for that. Credit card frauds, just different forms of gathering people's information and just using it as your own. I saw a documentary about a guy who was able to do this and ran up like $5 million. I wouldn't recommend any of this shit, guys. No shipping. So no shipping is pretty much, it's the scam version of drop shipping. So in drop shipping, like, you get the product from someone else, a supplier, and then you send it to the customer. With no shipping, you actually run up a product, you scale it pretty high, and you don't ship out any of the orders. This can get you in a lot of trouble, with Shopify and shit like that. But it's plaguing the entire fucking market. It's ruining the name of actual drop shippers that want to build a real brand and actually be a real business. I'm sure there are a lot of people that have done this. Anyways, prize scams as well. So just pretending that, like, $2, $3 for a ticket for a prize, and then you don't ship out the prize. A lot of YouTubers have done this. I know that I watched a couple of videos on that. Anyways, the other form of online business, guys, you guys probably know about this one, is glamorized as well right now, and it can work pretty well. Honestly, if you just full on lock in on day trading, I personally can't do that right now. I just don't have the time to do day trading right now. I kind of want to do day trading later on, when I have a little bit more time. But this guy right here, TJR, he did day trading, and he had a whole come up story. It was pretty interesting, pretty cool. There's different forms of day trading. I don't know much. I really don't know anything about day trading other than the fact that you can day trade Forex, futures, crypto, stocks. I don't know anything logistical about it. I don't know the technical shit. I just know that it can make you a lot of money if you literally just lock in and you are in the know. So that means like being in communities for day trading and like and getting like these signals and whatnot, and being in the know. Like, you have to be in the know. You can't day trade blindly. You have to have information to be able to day trade. So if you guys want to do that, you definitely can. And here, guys, so this is where I actually have a little bit of solid proof when it comes to online business. So this is e-commerce, and this guy right here, I hope that I can, so yeah, I hope you guys can see him. So that guy right there, that is Daniel Dallin, and Daniel Dallin has built up a pretty good YouTube community, when it comes to his e-commerce brand. He's able to travel the world. He lived in China for a little bit. Cool guy, very good content. But his main business was e-commerce, and that is my main business as well. And I have done e-commerce for, honestly, realistically, doing general e-commerce for like since I was 16 years old. So there's different forms of e-commerce, and there's so many more different ways to do e-commerce. I'm just gonna give you guys a little basic gist of e-commerce, some of the information that I know. So there's Etsy, and I'm gonna get into Etsy and all the stats that I have as well. Organic drop shipping, which is, you take the videos yourself and then you run up the products yourself by going viral. Branded drop shipping, which is what I am in right now. TikTok shop as well. And you can also do music, and the music and info products kind of correlate to each other. Info products meaning like mentorships and courses, blueprints, shit like that, right? And info products are honestly one of the best things to get into right now, especially because all the money that you get from an info product is almost 90% profit, right? When it comes to branded dropshipping, your margins are going to go between 25, 30, 40% at the max. Realistically, you can do 50% if you do it right. 50% profit margins more come from organic and from Etsy, but branded, you can have decent margins if you go crazy with it. But info products are essentially going to be 100% profit, 90% profit, just because of fees of like wherever you put your info product on. This is going to be a pretty good market for you guys if you're doing e-commerce, and if you guys have some credibility and a way to distribute your info products and teach people things, right? Let's start with music. So I was able to, when I was 16, I started making beats. I started making music, and I was posting these beats on YouTube and generate sales. And the cool thing about making music and selling beats, everything was profit. The only thing that costed me money was my subscription to the website to put these beats on, which was like $20 a month. So pretty much this is exactly how I started e-commerce and online business. I was selling beats. And so I was posting beats. One of my beats got like 200,000 views, which was pretty cool. I hope that you guys can see that. So that beat alone actually made me $3,000. It was one singular beat that made me $3,000. And that was my first taste of online business, and it was actually some of the best feelings I've ever had. Like, I would just check my phone, and every now and then on PayPal, I would get a payment through, and that was pretty much everything that I got through PayPal was my money. There was no cost involved besides obviously the time that I spent making the music. So I made $3,000 on this beat right here, which is kind of ridiculous, kind of crazy. I've made a lot more money as well, and this was kind of a span of like, I guess, a year. 7,600 in gross sales, 6,400 profit. And by the way, guys, this is not all the money that I made from making beats. I was also making custom beats on Instagram, and people were DMing me for beats and shit like that. So it's probably close to like $12,000 in total of money that I made in my pocket, right, from making beats online. So if you guys want to start that, if you're pretty good at making music, you should honestly sell your beats. Like, really, there's still a huge market for selling music online, and this is an info product, right? And this is a digital product. The reason I put here info products here, the same thing, is because info products are digital products, and so these are digital products. You're selling music, you're selling beats, you're selling the licenses to these beats, and this is proof right here. You can make a solid amount of money selling beats, which is pretty fucking cool, right? It's your own art that you're selling, and people are watching and liking and purchasing. That's pretty fucking awesome, guys. But yeah, that is how I started doing e-commerce. I was selling beats, and it went pretty decently well. And then I just lost my consistency here, and I stopped selling beats. So after selling beats, another form of e-commerce that you guys can do is Etsy. So if you guys don't know, I used to do Etsy, and I did it with my friends, and we ran up over $65,000 total. So here are some screenshots from like me and my friends of all the different Etsy stores that we had. So I hope you guys can see that, but that says $3,000 of all time. That was like a 2-month old store that he had. You know, this was like 2 months in when we started a little community, Wolves of Etsy. It was pretty cool. Here's my store, and I remember 1 month I made $1,000. I actually made a lot more. I just can't find all the stats because my store was banned. My old stores were banned, so I can't really find the all-time stats. I know that it was close to $25,000 total for like 3 stores. And then here is my friend's notification for when somebody ordered 9 items for $145. And by the way, guys, the profit margins on Etsy are like 50 to 60% because you are not paying for ads, you are not paying for marketing. Etsy does that for you. Here's another screenshot of me and my friend Matt. He had generated like $9.9 thousand. This was in a span of like, probably like 4 or 5 months. Here I'm talking about, 11 sales in 3 days, my first 3 days. It was pretty cool. Like we started getting pretty good at it. And then Etsy had a whole ban of people, which kind of set us back a little bit. But now Etsy's kind of back. If you guys want to know more about that, you guys can join up the Discord. A little plug right there. But, here's another one of my friend's stores. This store is not working anymore. It got banned, so it doesn't matter if I show the name. $3.3 thousand, it was just easy cash flow. Here, I actually cut out the name here because this store is still running. Yesterday, it was, took a screenshot, 9 orders, $300 in revenue, 60% profit margins, which is pretty fucking cool, guys. It's pretty fucking cool. Here's another store, one of my friends. This is probably like 6 months time. I'm not sure exactly. 7.8 thousand. It's very easy cash flow if you guys are able to do it. I literally put on 6 of my friends on Etsy. And guys, all of these wins are really nothing compared to the biggest win. So this was my friend, and he's actually my roommate. The whole reason I started Etsy was because he showed me this dashboard when he made $2,000 in one day off of a product that he capitalized on, a very, very consumer-based holiday. And he was able to make $2,000 in one day. I think he made like $20,000 in a week. It was pretty fucking cool. This store, again, is no longer running, so I can put the name on there. It's fine. But, for you guys that are skeptical on here, when it comes to Etsy, these are all people that I knew. These are all people that we were literally in high school making this amount of money. It was pretty fucking cool. We didn't have a job. We were just making this. I mean, some of us had jobs, obviously. But, if you guys are skeptical, these are all different people that were able to generate this amount of money. And if you guys want to know more, you guys can join up the Discord because we drop a lot of sauce on Etsy as well as ecom and branded dropshipping. So anyways, yeah, that is essentially how we did it on Etsy. And obviously, guys, for the solid proof for branded dropshipping, guys, branded dropshipping is the one that I am currently doing. I'm also doing some Etsy stores as well on the side. But, here's some of the proof here. From June 27th to June 20th, so that's 2 days. And it was $11,000 in revenue. It was probably close to like $3,000-$4,000 profit in 2 days, which was absolutely fucking ridiculous. From May 16th to June 29th, it was my first $100,000. So, if you are able to learn how to run ads and do branded dropshipping rather than organic or do an Etsy, these are the numbers that you can expect. Like, really, this is not much compared to what is possible. These are really realistic expectations if you do things right, are not lazy, and work. $215,000 between May 16th to July 27th. I think that store is close to like $230,000 now. Here's my proof for the ads. Let me actually make that a little bigger. There you go. Spent $22,000. I got $75,000 back. I'm not sure exactly what the time span was for this, but had a 0.5 CPC on average, which is pretty fucking good. But this is kind of what I'm doing here now. And, guys, the main thing that I want to show you guys is that it doesn't matter what business model you pick and choose. I know people making money here. I know people making money here. People making money here. I know some people scamming as well. I know some people doing day trading that are making a lot of money. The main point of this entire video is to show you guys that you guys have to lock in on one thing, because as I was locked in on all of these things when I was doing them. And the only reason they stopped, some of these things stopped, is because I stopped doing them. You know what I mean? Like anything that you do, any business model that you choose, you can make it work. And you can make it work pretty well if you just lock in and focus and actually do the hard work that is required for you to be a one percenter in that category. Don't just use AI and think that you're gonna make sales. Like you have to put in work. You have to put in. You have to use proper information to get things going. I mean, guys, like I have been able to generate income, sales in 3 different forms of e-commerce, like not just branded dropshipping, but an Etsy and making beats. And all of these things happened because I locked in, I did research, and I applied the things that I learned, and I did them better. And I went above and beyond. I stopped being consistent on some things. That was because back then I was a little bit more lazy. Um, Everything that you guys choose, no matter what it is, all you have to do is apply yourself. Think like you are already a millionaire and just work and stop thinking too much about it. Really, you have to just be fucking brain dead and just do, just act. The smarter that you are, the less you're going to make money, because you are going to look at all of these different options and try this one for a little bit, see that it's not generating results, then move on to this one, move on to this one, move on to that. And the reason that I say that is because, logically, if you are doing something over and over again and it doesn't work, right, that algorithm does not work, then a smart person is going to move on to the next thing. But somebody who's dumb and retarded and locked in, what they're going to do is keep doing it even if they're not seeing results. And that's illogical. It doesn't work like that, but it does. That's the thing. All you have to do is actually just fucking be brain dead and act and do research and continue working until it works. And it's delusional, but it works, guys. It works not only with branded dropshipping, it works if you make beats, it works if you do Etsy. And I bet you that there are people, and I know for a fact that there are people that are making a living off of selling beats. If I had stayed consistent at that, I would have made a living. If I was consistent here and I did things the right way and I applied things better, I can make a living on Etsy. And by the way, again, Etsy is back on. Etsy's pretty cool to start right now. It's pretty easy, and you guys can generate cash flow with Etsy to later fund your things on e-commerce. And again, guys, this is not crazy numbers. These are things that you're going to expect if you just do the research and act and do the work. If there's one thing that you guys can take away from this video, is to literally stop thinking about the business models and just start acting. It does not matter what you choose. It doesn't have to be e-commerce. It doesn't have to be things that I do, that I teach. It can be anything that you put your mind to. I promise you that it can work, and it is 100% possible for you to make money online. All you have to do is apply some time, apply some work, turn off your brain, and just act. That's it.